This is Mark Lewis, and I'd like to talk to you a bit today about hiring a coach, whether it be a pool coach, it could be a nutritionist, it could be a wellness coach, it could be a trainer for the gym, it could be archery, musical instruments, whatever it is. We have to have some kind of an idea of why we're going to hire that coach. And these aren't in necessarily chronological order, so I'm saying if I say number 1 through 5, it's not a hierarchy. Okay, so number 1 for me is going to be July 31st versus August 1st. The person born on August 1st has an inherent advantage when they go to sports in middle school and high school. Why? Generally speaking, it's because the August 1st birthday has had one more year of growth, and I'm taking out DNA and all that kind of stuff. So they've had one more year of growth and maturity to be able to be better at sports. What are they going to get out of that? It's about size in some of our sports, football, wrestling, and it's also about maturity and thinking. Okay, so that person has an advantage, and they generally will get more coaching hours because they practice more because of the size differential. So the person on August 1st has a slight advantage over the person born on July 31st. The second one is synergy. I have seen tons of people on YouTube out there. They've got tons of growth. You can tell they took a lesson because they've said it on YouTube. So they took a lesson. All of a sudden they're shooting lights out. Man, they're really shooting well. For 2-3 weeks, they're shooting really well. And then you can see that kind of level degrade just a bit. Whereas if we had some kind of an accountability for lessons, let's take a lesson every week, let's take it every 2 weeks, we essentially take what we got in that first lesson and we don't forget as much. So there is absolutely a degradation out of our first lesson. We memorized so much information. The second day we got 80%, let's say the third day we got 60%, okay? And so over that lesson, over the week, we've gotten worse and worse and worse from that peak. And then we go back up on the second lesson. There's 2 ways to combat that, I think. One of them is you could have an asynchronous way of learning as well as learning from a coach. So you actually watch those videos of that lesson that you had. You could also watch other videos that's reinforcing that information. So that's one way, the asynchronous way of learning. And then there's also, you could actually practice what the coach has said to practice, and then the next week you've lost less information, and then you go back up and learn or reinforce more information, so you ratchet yourself up again. So what I'm seeing is a need for weekly lessons in some of those people on YouTube. I think they could benefit tremendously from that. The third thing I think is accountability. So the coach has an accountability to you to listen to whatever you're going to say. You want to get to 150 pounds and right now you're at 200 pounds. They have to map it out. They have to say what's appropriate, what's an appropriate amount of effort that you should put into every single training session. Okay, so you don't want to go over 4% of what you don't know. Okay, so I'm going to push you at 4% to keep your mind interested, but not in 5 and let your brain go off to lunch. Also, I don't want it at 25 of your learning capacity because I don't want you to get bored. And then again, you're getting no results. So it's a map, it's a curriculum that needs to be adhered to by the coach. It's also for the student to make sure that you're not having that degradation in learning. The next item is you can do things on your own. You absolutely can. I mean, that's the way that we've done every single thing. The first person that made a knife, it took, how many years and years of development to make that first knife. And then after that first one was made, you've already had that trial and error period. So that person could teach the next person, and we could go faster and faster and faster. Same thing as flying an airplane. So it just gets faster and faster and faster to learn any activity after somebody's already done it. Now you have a teacher that knows exactly how that learning process was. You learn from your teacher whatever methods they know, and then you go faster and faster in your own learning. Okay, so, and then is to promote pool. My last one, the biggest one, and the reason why I want to give people lessons and talk about pool so much is because I want to promote the sport. So if you get better, this is what happened with me. I had a group of people that I hung around with in a pool hall when I was very young. And one person would grab one book and we'd read it. That person would read it and practice those shots. And the next person would get another book and get another set of videos. And we had 4 or 5 people that would do that same thing. So everybody in that group wanted to get better. And so everybody's level kept going higher and higher and higher. And even yet, if somebody in that group is the only one that's studying, everybody's going to get better because they want to compete with the person that is getting the results. Okay, so it's a synergy in getting better in your own pool hall. It's also by you getting better and going out and competing. Now you're forcing other people to get better to keep at that same level as you are. Okay, so whatever the case may be in anything out there, everybody's level is going to go higher the more that we have information out there, the more that you learn. So it's promoting the game so much. So I'm hoping this helps your game a little bit and your decision on what should you hire a coach. And if I can help you out, fantastic. If somebody else, if you can find another coach out there, fantastic. But we do want to promote this great game of pool. Thanks.